Natural ecosystems are intertwined with our economies, our businesses, livelihoods, and overall well-being. Most of the existing funding for nature-based solutions comes from the public sector, so we also need to mobilize significant private sector finance and grant capital to scale up these solutions.
Economics is based on stories that we all buy into and that we all believe. And I think we have to go deeper in the way that we restructure our relationship with nature. We have to go much deeper than just seeing this as an asset class and investment opportunity, although that is, of course, in the short term, that's important. India plays a huge role in this as the 7th of the world population, fastest growing demand for energy, at the same time, a mega diverse country in terms of biodiversity. So if we can figure this out in India, we can figure it out anywhere.
I think nature-based solutions is the starting point are people. Let's stop calling them the vulnerable. Let's start calling them the first responders. That way you change the power equation between a donor and a vulnerable versus somebody who's the first responder and has the right to ask for the tools and the capacity to deal with the climate crisis. It's just about finding the right projects to invest in and look at how long-term can these projects go and how do you blend different kinds of financial instruments. You will need to blend it because that's the only way to get long-term. NBS projects are usually 15, 20 or 10 years.
If you look at, even just agriculture and forests in India, together, I think they support the livelihood of about 700 million people. And a high proportion of those people actually are tribal people who are, the first responders and are often the poorest and most vulnerable sections of the society. So if we look at nature-based solutions as a very holistic form of addressing climate change, biodiversity loss, but also climate justice and creating good jobs. So nature-based solutions actually can play a very important role in terms of the economic recovery.
A whole bunch of us and the industry and investors came in and offered solutions to farmers. And these were all solutions that were brought in from the supply side and that the farmer was supposed to take up at the farmer's risk because it was all oriented towards their productive lands. And that's where trade-offs occur. Now, if in fact you focus on, what we are trying to do in the ARREST program, which is what we featured in the COP, where if you focus on what is a substantial amount of degraded land in India, and just in peninsular India, at a very conservative level, we've got 13 million hectares that we are targeting. So there, the narrative is very different because when we went to the ground and asked farmers as to what they wanted first, pretty much all of them said that if we could put their degraded lands back in service, then in that case, that's a demand that we would characterize and where they would accept finance and suggestions quite readily.
We came across this interesting phrase that India is a graveyard of pilots. And I don't think we have time for any more pilots. We have 6 to 8 years to turn this ship around. So there are a whole bunch of solutions out there. There's great examples. We have lots of social capital on one side, and we have a whole bunch of solutions on the other side. What we need is efforts that now start to take this to the mainstream.
There is a policy implementation challenge. A lot of pledges are made, no implementation happens. How do we make implementation happen in this space at the speed and scale that it needs to? So I think that's where philanthropy has to focus, but it has very limited dollars or rupees to bring to the challenge. It has to be very creative in how it designs its intervention so that it leads to speed and scale in action.
We're putting together a playbook, a knowledge product focused on how we can bring finance to NBS in ways that addresses the complexity and responds to the complexity.